Alright guys, what is going on? BusterBarnes here, bringing you this new video where I will be going through what I believe to be Chelsea's best starting 11 going into the 2020 to 2021 season. If you guys enjoy these Chelsea videos, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content just like this, and leave a comment down below on what your best Chelsea starting 11 is. I'd love to see and discuss with you guys how you think Chelsea will fare going into next season with our current squad. Going into the starting 11, I will be assuming that Edouard Mendy is a Chelsea player, even though it hasn't been officially confirmed by Chelsea itself. There's no way that Kepa is getting in to any of these starting 11s. But just a quick word on the formation. I will actually be going through 4 different formations and my best starting 11 for each one, as you know, with Frank Lampard now, we're very versatile. We like playing different formations, we like changing things up during the matches as well, so there will be some player changes here and there depending on the formation, but also it is just a bit of fun. But to begin, I will be going with the formation which I think we will see for the majority of this season as we get into a few weeks of Premier League action, and that is going to be the 4-3-3. It has been reported and seen that Lampard wants to play this formation with potentially a holding midfielder and 2 number 8s. Obviously we've been linked to players like Declan Rice as well, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen, so Declan Rice will not be included in any of these starting 11s. But if I do start in goal, I will start with Edouard Mendy. To be fair, there's no confirmation that he's going to be better than Kepa, but you know, it must be pretty hard to not be as good as Kepa. You know, as long as Edouard Mendy is average, or you know, putting up average decent numbers, you know, he's a bargain in my books. So yeah, hopefully he will succeed and at least be average to acceptable, satisfactory goalkeeper for us. He will be in all of these starting 11s, so I'm not going to bring him up too often. But yeah, hopefully with his height, with his cross collection ability, and with his hopefully good save percentage record, he should hopefully be a keeper for the next few seasons to come, or maybe even just a stopgap until we find someone else. But getting into the defence, this isn't going to change that much either until we get to the last formation. I'm going with the fullbacks of Reece James and Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell clearly will be getting into the team straight away, and he's a young, promising English left-back who is just got a lot of better qualities than people like Alonso and Emerson. You know, Emerson doesn't really seem to care, he doesn't really seem to play anymore. Alonso, whilst can be utilised in a different role, is not great going back defensively, or sometimes is even quite sloppy going forward, so it should be nice to have a new left back like Ben Chilwell in the team. Reece James is just slowly but surely overtaking Azpilicueta's role at right back. I still think Azpi will be with us for the the next few seasons, but Reece James's game time is going to keep continuing throughout this season, and he'll probably become Chelsea's full-time right back as well. And the 2 centre-backs, this is kind of like Mendy, where we're just sort of assuming how they're going to be, but I've gone with Zuma and Thiago Silva. Zuma obviously has been our best centre-back last season and has looked very good the first 2 games back also. Thiago Silva, he's experienced, he's a winner, he's come in, he's new, but I do think with all of his experience, he will definitely be straight into the team. I would put Tomori probably just behind those 2, and he can definitely rotate in, as we know that him and Zuma have a good partnership, and it would be great for him to learn of someone like Thiago Silva. So Tomori is a close second, getting into that back 4. Going into midfield, as you guys can see, I've gone with N'Golo Kante in the holding role, Mason Mount and Kai Havertz. Now, some people might look at that and think, oh, that's way too attacking, but obviously with Kante holding, with Mason Mount's work rate as well, I think that with Pulisic on the left wing, he might not need to get back as much if you've got Mason Mount on the left side. I know people are going to be calling for Kovacic, where's Kovacic, but in this sort of 4-3-3 system, I do think that we need a bit more attacking threat. We have Kante back, we have Zuma, we have Thiago Silva back. I think we can afford to have a bit more of attacking output, and also Mason Mount's work rate is second to none, so there's no reason why he can't help out defensively too. Also going onto the right side, Hakim Ziyech and Kai Havertz as well have good work rates. We've seen Kai Havertz's work rate so far the past few weeks, and Ziyech has been well applauded on his work rate too, so I'm sure that'll be okay. Christian Pulisic up top with Werner and Ziyech as well. Pulisic was our best, attacker towards the back end of last season. He's definitely going to feature in the team, our new number 10 as well. Ziyech coming in, he looked promising against Brighton. Now, I'm not 100% certain he's going to be set there, it all depends on how he performs. He does have a great left foot which he can use to create a lot of chances, but I don't know, with Ziyech, I sometimes see maybe glimpses of he could potentially have some attitude problems eventually, but I don't think we'll have to worry about that too much this season. But yeah, so for now, he's going to be there. And Werner up front has looked great the last 2 games. Hasn't scored, but making loads of dangerous runs, very lively. And if he'd taken any of the penalties, probably would have a goal by now as well. And he's won 2 penalties too, so is clearly a nuisance for opposition defenders. But yes, guys, that is my best Chelsea starting 11 of a 4-3-3, which I do think is probably the formation that we're going to go with. I know that a lot of people will probably disagree with maybe Mount over Kovacic, but personally, whilst Kovacic has a lot of great qualities like winning the ball in deep and driving forward, I think in this sort of formation, so a bit of more of an all-rounder like Mason Mount could be a bit more useful. But yeah, getting away from that formation, we're actually going to move on to a formation that we've seen a bit more recently, specifically against Brighton, and that is going to be the 4-2-3-1. And, still quite similar to the 4-3-3 formation. That I'm not going to, hold on this too much, as there's only one player difference, and it is the one which I talked about before, and that is Kovacic for Mason Mount. Obviously, Kovacic is going to be more of a DM defensive player than Mount. He does like to slide into tackles. He can win the ball in deep and drive forwards. Him and Kante actually played very well against Liverpool, making tackles and interceptions. And I think Kante had about 3 or 4 dribbles in that game, so fair play to him. But the rest of the team is the same. It allows Havertz to get a bit more forward. Same with Ziyech, Pulisic as well. It's a bit more defensive in the bottom half, so it allows the attackers to maybe push up a bit more. But yeah, not too many words on that. Let me know if you guys agree with this, or if you'd have someone else in this 4-2-3-1 formation as well. That could be interesting. I think in the pivot you've got Kovacic, Kante, obviously Jorginho can go in there, Gilmour maybe, and maybe even potentially Loftus-Cheek. He has a decent work rate as well. He's a big guy, can drive forwards with the ball, so maybe having him at a double pivot CDM partnership with Kante could be an interesting concept for the future, but I'm not too sure. Let me know what you guys think about that. But here's a formation that we actually sort of saw in the Liverpool game. It wasn't a starting formation, but it was a formation that was sort of developed when Kai Havertz and Werner went up front together. And as you can see, some of the personnel's changing a little bit here. It's a 4-2-2-2, and basically what this means is just that our wingers are a little bit more narrow, looking a little bit more to create, through the middle. So I've put Kai Havertz and Hakim Ziyech in the central attacking roles on either side, and I've put Timo Werner and Tammy Abraham up front as well. Timo Werner has shown he has some good, creative aspects to his game, looking to get other players into the game as well, as we've seen against Liverpool and Brighton. So Tammy Abraham could really benefit from a partnership up top with him. Again, Kovacic and Kante, the 2 DMs, and I think that some people might not be too sure on Havertz and Ziyech on the wings. I don't think they're the fastest. I think Havertz is deceptively quite quick, however, though. But I do think with this formation where they'll be drifting inside a lot more, both their left foots could be very, very crucial in winning us games if we do use this formation. But this isn't a formation that I expect to see us starting with. It's a formation that I more see us using when we're getting a bit further into the game. But lastly and not least, we are going to go with a formation that we haven't seen yet this season, but one that we will probably see at some point. Hopefully not as much, because when we did use the 3-4-3 formation, we sometimes, I think, had a bit of an issue of using it too much. We'd bring it out of nowhere, win the game like we did against Spurs, or like we've done in other games as well, like against United in the FA Cup. But then we'd use it 1 or 2 more times and we'd never seem to win a game. So hopefully we just see this, fairly rarely. But as you can see, the players have actually changed a fair bit, and I think that this formation can, adapt to some other certain players in the team. This is just a bit of fun though, guys, so I know that some of you might be thinking, oh, why is Alonso left wing back? But, realistically, Alonso's quite good at left wing back. Not saying Chilwell wouldn't be as good there, but this is just a bit of fun. Eduard Mendy in goal as always. The back 3 actually being Tomori, Kurt Zouma and Cesar Azpilicueta. Thiago Silva could easily go in here, but I'm not sure how he is, playing in the back three. And also, with a back three, you might potentially need a bit more pace. So that's why I've got Tomori there. Azpilicueta has shown that he's great at that right-sided centre-back role. So he fits in with Zuma in the middle, providing that, aerial ability and power as well. And Tomori as well, if you've got Azpilicueta, on the left-hand side, you're going to need someone with some good recovery play pace to make up for his, mistakes that he's inevitably going to make. So Tomori on the left side there looks good to me. Alonso and Reece James at the wing-backs. Obviously, they both have good crossing ability, can both, provide a goal threat as well. So those two would be great wing-backs if we did use this formation. And most probably will be as well. In the middle, I've actually gone for N'Golo Kante, who obviously can, scan around the pitch and make a lot of tackles, interceptions. I still think he has the ability to do that, even though his fitness, might have gone down a bit recently and his pace may not be quite what it was. I still think that Kante is still the same player, at least for this season, hopefully. I've actually put Loftus-Cheek, who I think actually does have quite a good work rate. He does provide a sort of bigger figure, a bit more power in the centre of midfield as well, and can drive forward through that two in midfield and provide some attacking threat with Christian Pulisic, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Werner. Throwing Hudson-Odoi in there again for a bit of fun, but I think with Azpi, Kante, Reece James on that side, you don't need to necessarily worry about work rate going back too much. So someone like Hudson-Odoi could really benefit from having more of that freedom going forward, and even rotating him and Pulisic together, and Werner as well. All three of those could rotate and really provide issues for opposition defenders. But yeah, guys, this was just a bit of fun. Obviously, you could put any other players you wanted in there. You could maybe try and fit in Giroud in there. Maybe you're not happy with the centre mids or the centre backs. Maybe Jorginho fits in there somewhere. But this is my opinion on Chelsea's best players and best lineup for each specific formation that they could use for next season. Let me know what you guys think on these selections by myself, and give me your selections as well for each formation. Maybe if you have the time to spare, that would be cool also, or if not, maybe just pick one or two formations like the 4-3-3. That will probably be the one that we use most of the time going forwards. But yes, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please be sure to leave a like and comment down below your thoughts, as well as subscribe to the BusterBarnes YouTube channel for everything football, Chelsea, Fantasy Premier League and the upcoming FIFA 21. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you next time.